Hi, beautiful Pisces. Welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Pisces, this is your love reading, and I've set the time frame to the entire month of June. Awesome. We're already in June 2021. So we're going to see what's going on for you. Lately, I focused on love. I set the intention for love, but if you can apply it to love, apply it to love. If you can apply it to your career, apply it to your career. It seems like there's a little bit of a different, it's more like a spiritual journey. What is going on for you right now, like more so than typical love. And just because I'm telling you that now and I haven't told the other 11 signs that has happened to mainly, obviously you're going to get a love reading just very specific for love. So we're going to see. So just feel what resonates with you. Feel like where does it fit? And come with me on this journey, because it's not a quick fix. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to work up the energy and to really have a sense of what's going on. So Pisces love for June, please. There you go. Quick as a button, as the expression is. Somebody has been down and out. Battle of the Blues, but you're up and running now. So this was a while back, I feel. Battle of the Blues. You rest your case. You put your sword down. You don't want to argue anymore. You don't want to be in conflicts anymore. Whatever situation this is for you, you just feel like it's enough. You don't. It's like you really. It's that card, choose your battles. It's that feeling of, okay, is this really your battle? Is this really your thing to interfere with, to deal with? If not, then you rest your case. It's like, before maybe you felt the urge, like we all have, if I see somebody crying or if I see someone feel really bad, my knee-jerk reaction is to go in and help. Why? They can figure it out. They have their own strength. They have their own power. If they ask for help, obviously, but we have a much quicker response to just go and fix it when we don't have to fix so many things. It's not even our job. It sometimes is even detrimental to their journey to go in and fix something, right? So it feels like, obviously, help where help is needed and where you can sort of share your insight about stuff. But there seems to be it's almost the feeling here of, okay, you lived a lot of other people's lives. You lived a lot of other people's lives. And you don't do that anymore, Pisces. You rest your case, you quiet down, the communication is not as loud anymore. And due to that, there's a lot of healing that has taken place. Maybe you haven't even put those two together. Maybe you have had a very aware, conscious choice, okay, I'm not going to interfere with that thing anymore. I'm not going to interfere with that person's journey anymore. I'm just not going to do it. Even though sometimes maybe even someone, and I understand that one is a really tough one, even though someone really looks like they're in need and maybe even reaches out to you, and you just know that this is codependency, this is you're enabling them to just continue forward with their not finding their own power, because you keep, sorry for the harsh words, but you keep taking it away. And that, it's not beneficial anymore. Maybe for a little bit, it was really beneficial. It was really helpful, but then it wasn't anymore. And so, just as a little thing here, for the longest time, I helped my dad, and sorry, Dad. And I don't know you don't listen to this. So, but for the longest time, I just really try to help my dad out. I figure if I just give him money, or if I even at one point I gave him a car. I literally just gave him a car because he didn't have a car, and you know what? It just brought more headache to him. He just, this car, do you know what this car costs in a year for taxes? And I was like, yeah, I had it. It was mine. And do you know how expensive gas is? I even know how much I tried, then, the car just sort of stood there and broke down eventually because he wasn't driving it, because it was just hassle for him. He kept saying like he wanted, if I wasn't so like bogged down with not having, like I can't go anywhere, I don't have a car, I can't go anywhere, I don't have a car, like keep repeating that. In my mind it was like, and at the time I really didn't need the car. It was like, it was just sitting in the driveway because I was at the time in a relationship when we had another car. It was like so easy for me to just say, you know what, take mine. I don't have to pay for it, you don't have to do it, just take it. And that, I thought it was a good deed, and he kept asking for one, and still it brought more trouble for him than if he would have come to terms with, like if he would have created his own energy around getting his own car, he would have been in alignment with the car. But me just trying to come in and fix his problem was actually adding on to his problems. He was like overwhelmed of how expensive everything was, and eventually it just ended up me taking the car back, and he was so he was not being well taken care of. A car is sitting just in the driveway when there's not a new car, it breaks down. And so yeah, anyway, I'm just trying to to give you an analogy of what I feel is going on here, and you not continue on to fix everybody else's life. You might not have put two and two together here, that just not intervening or even interfering. I know it's so harsh words here, but I know you just try to help. I'm the same. And it's not help at the end of the day, but you just try to help. And like when you stop doing that, it has brought so much healing to you. You might feel energized, and you might feel like you have so much time over. You feel like, oh man, there's like a lightness in the air, and you don't even put two and two together, that it's because you have removed your energy from keep helping those who doesn't, at the end of the day, want help. They're going to end up right back where they started. It looks a little bit brighter for a bit. It looks like they're catching on, and they're really getting somewhere. Only if you just, if you're not there with your training wheels at all times to pick their slack up, you just take one of those training wheels off and they're just off balance. So it's not them carrying themselves, and they never have the reason to find it because you're there with your training wheels all the time. And you're removing those, taking that energy back for you has brought so much healing and has brought so much power back to you. So I feel like it has been really a healing experience. This is Raphael talking about the healing experience for like mind, body, and soul. This is like, and the lightness I feel, you might put it like as to other, like this might feel like it has to do with other things or other people, other situations, why you feel so light. This thing has happened in my life, and I feel so grateful and I feel so light because of it. And maybe that's true as well. Maybe that those new situations have started to happen just because you're not in a lower frequency of looking at the world like the world needs help. Being in that mindset, looking out in the world and thinking that people need help is not beneficial for the world. It actually takes away from the world. It takes away from the person, from the people. Looking out into the world and see grace and power and personal empowerment and stamina, how people can be self-sufficient, how the earth is self-sufficient. It's so healing for yourself and so healing for others. This is a very different start than, like, very different vibe here. So let's see where we go with this. Like, no, this is yucky that I do that, but I'm so dry that I can't shuffle. Yeah, it starts out this way, but let's see, like we can end some completely elsewhere, and the extended can be a completely different story. So we're starting out here. Maybe it's just sort of a way of saying you've gotten your energy back because you've removed yourself and removed your help to people that doesn't want it. It might even look like they want it, but they don't. Okay, so why are these cards here, please, for Pisces? Why are these cards here for Pisces, please? Yeah. So 4 of emotions. What? No, not at all. Why did I say that? Well, in the text underneath, it says be aware of your own emotions. Maybe that's what I picked up and I didn't even realize I picked that up. But 4 of emotions. If I'm going to talk, I don't believe in slips. So that is a message, 4 of emotions. So 4 for me is all about the heart. It's laying a new foundation. So it could be that you're like really listening to your heart right now. You're laying a new foundation when it comes to your own emotions. Okay, this is for Raphael. Raphael is all about the healing. Continues on here with Raphael, all about the healing and all about becoming whole within yourself. You have a lot of seashells there on the ground. So this to me talks about like that you are or should, like it's an inspiration to listen to your intuition, pay attention to your intuition, put your ear to the ground and really pay attention to what's going on there in your life. And also we have those dragonflies flying around, which for me talks about grand spiritual awakening, spiritual ascension. There's my little Chinese, it has to come out at some point. Spiritual ascension. And just a feeling of, yeah, she's not looking too happy. It's a feeling of lack of emotion here. Underneath it is a seek out other possibilities, and this is due to the situation that has been. So this is like seek out, if you feel like it doesn't matter how much you help. It actually does not matter. And in the beginning, it just feels, it's not easy. And if this is like if this is a father-daughter, mother-daughter, mother-son, if this is you being the parent wanting to help your children, I cannot even, I've been on my journey with my own kids, but it has been doable. I know in some parts what you're going through, but if this is like a tough one for you to sort of remove yourself, I would not want to be in your shoes. If this is towards your parents, if this is towards your friends, if this is towards your romantic partner, it doesn't really matter where it is. The minute you're sort of taking your power away, they're not going to like it, and you're not going to like it either. And I just feel like this is sort of representing this. Like for a while there, it's tough. I don't know if I told you this story before, and if you're familiar with Abraham Hicks, Abraham is my like second nature, my second home. So dear in my heart, really. If you don't know about them, check them out. Abraham Hicks. So Abraham is telling this story about. No, they're not telling the story. It's Esther. It's Esther who actually channels Abraham, who is talking about that they've had hens, like they've had a hen on their farm or their yard or something, and the hen got chickens, and she was so nurturing, she was so mothering, she was like really tending to them and taking care of them, and the chickens were just running around, really following their mother everywhere. And the mother just, plucked food together and gathered food and then sort of called on her chickens to just come and eat the food. And Esther was like watching this, she was observing this, and she thought that was just so lovely. And then one day she observed them, and she saw that when the chickens came to the mother hen to get their food that she had gathered for them every single day since birth, that all of a sudden, first she didn't gather any food, and when the chickens came to her to sort of like, where's our food, she even pecked them on the head, like, go away, go find your own food. And they just ran off and just came back and tried to like another round to like, can I please have my food? And she just pecked them on the head. It's like, I get teary-eyed just thinking about it. It's just so freaking harsh. And And she was like devastated. Esther was, I'm actually tearing up, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, Esther was devastated to see this. And I can't remember now if she talked to Abram about it or like, what is going on here? This is so harsh. And like Abram just said, you know what? You know, it's the animal kingdom. They know what to do. They know by instinct. They know what to do. And the mother hen felt like, okay, this is the day when I don't have to gather food for them anymore. This is the day where I know that they're going to start to be self-sufficient. I can't gather food for them forever. They're going to start to realize their own power and their own sufficiency. Like they can really create their own reality, their own life. And at some point you have to withdraw. It's a little bit tough way to withdraw, I would say. I wouldn't pick my boy, like I wouldn't hit him, like go fix your own dinner. I wouldn't do that. So I'd say still the animal kingdom is a little bit harsh. But there's a point here that Abram says, you know, the mother hen doesn't personalize it. She doesn't feel bad for the chickens. She doesn't feel sorry for them. She believes in them. She sees their power and she knows how efficient they can be, but she knows also that she can't continue to gather food and have them still find their own efficiency, their own power. And so, and then they just end up saying, you know what, nobody like when somebody removes their power, if somebody has given their power or help or, you know, strength to somebody else, and then they remove it, nobody is going to like it on the first day. Nobody's going to like it on the first day. Probably not even you. The mother hen couldn't care less. But we humans, we tend to just really, you know, go into it. So I don't know if that makes any sense for you guys, but it's like nobody's going to like it on the first day and not even you. But the second day and the third day and the fourth day, you're going to watch your parents, your friends, your romantic partner, your children, whoever this is in your life. Oh my goodness, this could even be, I thought completely that this was something, and it for the maybe 80% of you guys, this is for somebody else, but this can also be for yourself. If you remove something from yourself, you know that taking this substance, keep doing this thing to yourself, keep repeating this in your mind to yourself over and over again, and you start to remove it, on the first day, you're not going to like it. If this is, try to quit smoking, try to quit drinking, try to quit sugar, try to quit whatever this is, you're not going to like it on the first day, right? But the second day and the third day and the fourth day just keeps getting easier and easier and easier. At first glance, it's really, really tough physically, but energetically, you only need 3 real days, and then you're off of it. 3 days, people. That's what it takes. But it's that first and second, third day that really sucks hard. I know. Let's have some coffee. Let's have some coffee. If somebody tries to quit coffee, I just needed to. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So this feels like, okay. So we've. It says seek out other possibilities. Look for the magic in life. Be aware of your own emotions. So this is like, it's equally important for you to understand that if you withdraw your power, your efficiency, your strength, your help, in your mind, help from somebody, it's not just that they're not going to like it on the first day. You just really have to tend to your own emotion. You're not going to like it on the first day. You're going to deal with guilt and shame and abandonment issues. If you've had any type of abandonment issues, if you felt like growing up yourself and somebody wasn't there for you, maybe you tried all these different things and somebody just wasn't there for you, and now you're doing sort of the same, like you're withdrawing, you're taking your energy away from somebody, that's going to start things within you that you don't have, like you don't want to deal with them. It's not fun to deal with them. Maybe that's the very thing why you haven't withdrawn sooner from somebody, because you might even have taken a vow, like, I'm going to be there for my, like if you parents were not there for me, I'm going to be there for my kids. Just watch me, you know? But there's a fine line, isn't it? There's a balance to where do I empower them and where do I actually take the power away? It's such a fine freaking line. And the same thing, if it's not a thing you withdraw and you have all these things coming up because you've dealt with certain things the same way when you grew up, it's still the feeling of guilt. Like, did I just abandon my parent? Did I just abandon my child? Did I just, do they think that I don't care about them anymore? Deal with those stuff that comes up. So there's 4 of emotion, for sure. There's a new foundation for your emotions. There's a new place. It's like you have to find your heart. You have to have a heart in all of this for yourself, for withdrawing, because the reason why you're withdrawing. It's because to add power. It's not to withdraw power from them. It's to take your power back and actually give their power back to them, right? In the earlier days when I had a lot of one-on-one sessions with people, and I had certain people showing up. They could show up like 3 or 4 times a week to get a session. And eventually I just said, in the beginning, I just kept giving it and I kept giving it and I didn't care. And actually in the very, very beginning, I was just happy to get like, this is really working. I'm getting clients and I'm getting paid. It's like so beautiful. And then, when you sort of settle into the job and you understand, okay, this is just not just for the money. This is not just for a living. When I realized that the other person thinks now that in order to get answers from some loved one from the other side, or get answers about a journey that they're going to take, or answers about it, like I'm in this like situation and I need an answer. If that's like once a year, if that's like every 6 months, I have no problem with it. But these people, not many, but these fair few people that just kept coming back 3 or 4 times a week, I put a limit to it. I said, you can no longer, you sort of have I'm going to give you an allowance, and that's 3 times a year. And you use it however you want. And in the middle of that, you're going to find the answer from within. Because they started to use me as like a guru, or as I know it all. And if I wouldn't be able to give them the answer, they couldn't go on. And so there's something with it. Don't make yourself... It's not unbearable. Because unbearable is like... It's such a different word than from oumbärlig. It's not that at all. It's completely different. I don't know what the word is for that. Oumbärlig. Oumbärlig in Swedish. It's like when you... It's like, okay, you can't leave your job because you're the only one who can do it. You have to show up for this thing because you're the only one. Like if you leave, everything falls apart. If you make yourself that person, that is not a healthy situation for anyone, and not for yourself either. So, and then we come to this. Archangel Raphael, healing has taken place. You've taken so much of your power back. You're not in this anymore. But it's there. The reason why it's still, like, I didn't go straight to this. And I mean, maybe I needed to understand what it was coming from, but I didn't go straight to this, which tells me that this is still active somehow, some way. It still sort of lingers there. Maybe you're still working through this with certain people, with certain situations, but you are here. You are in the healing of it. And what comes out under this healing card with the Raphael is 8 of Michael. This is good karma returning. So it's also so much that you helped other people. It's not for nothing. You really have helped them. On occasion, you really, truly have helped certain people in your life, and helped yourself sometimes. And it's like good karma returning. Now, whatever you send out is coming back. Whatever you send out is coming back. And you're now taking back your power. It's also as above, so below. You're manifesting this whole new reality, this whole new freedom for yourself. Look at hair here. So she's opening the gates there. Michael is with her. This could... A little bit reflective there. There you go. She's opening the gates and she has shackles behind her. You're not in bondage anymore. You have one rope. That's what I'm saying. You have one rope that is just sitting right around your foot. It's loose. It's not tightened. You're not in bondage whatsoever, but it's like it's laying there. So maybe that's why, like, to just watch yourself a little bit. Are you there? Are you codependent again? Are you there again to sort of not pick on their head to let them go away, but like to, are you interfering? Are you not letting them go? I'm gonna also tell you something. We are such strong influencers of our like near and dear, and I had this situation where my now oldest son, he's turning 21 this year, and we've been on a journey together, that's for sure. And for a while there, he had such strong allergies. He was just really allergic to pets, to cats mainly, and he was just to the point where he couldn't really breathe, and it scared the living out of me. And it wasn't fun to watch, so it had brought evidence to me that if he's around cats, he's gonna stop breathing. So I had as evidence. And so I was really fearful for him. And it was the first time, it was a situation where I needed to go somewhere. I can't remember what it was. I needed to go somewhere, and he needed to be with one of my sisters, and she had cats. And I was like, can you just be outside? Like, at all time, just be outside as long as possible. And I'm just going to be quick. Like, I'm going to be away for a couple of hours. I'm going to come back, and it's going to just be fine. And I felt guilt the entire time. And I went away, and I came back, and I opened the door, and I came in, and I had this idea that, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to expect here now. And feeling guilty for leaving him there. I know that's not going to be good for him. And I walked in the door, and he was perfectly fine. He had no symptom of being bad in any. He wasn't even sounding like he was a little bit off. And I was like, what is going on here? And I said, are you feeling well? Like, are you good? And he's like, yeah. And like, they've been out playing, they've had a lot of fun, and blah blah blah. And then he said something he was talk about a peck on your forehead. Oh my God. He said, you know what, Mom? The only time I really get sick is when you're around. Say what now? Yeah, I feel like I've been actually feeling well ever since you left. And then just as you walked in the door, I started to just feel this tightness in my chest again. And I was like, for the love of God, is it me? It was such a reality check that it was just unbelievable. And then obviously it has been a back and forth, like what is his and what is mine? But I certainly wasn't helping. I was so in my head about what it was going to be like, and that he is so sick. I have evidence of it. He can't breathe when he's around cats. It shifted my whole way of thinking about the influence that people have on other people's lives, and definitely parent to child. What do I expect from him? Did I see him be all well and thriving and be powerful and dealing with it himself? No. I needed to be there every step of the way for him, because he's getting sick. Really, really sick. Because I have evidence. He couldn't breathe, at one point. He couldn't breathe. And so yeah, since then I had to practice and practice and practice, not being around cats at the moment, but practice and practice and practice when we were away from the cats, that he's a thriving, really empowered, cool guy. And eventually over the years, he's gotten better and better and better, to the point where he can be around cats and dogs indoors all day. And he deals with it. He's fine. So most of it is his fear and my fear projected on him. So I don't know why this is so important today, but this is coming out today. And you're coming out, like you're free. You're opening the gates. You can sort of let yourself go. Michael is there every step of the way. This is underneath. You can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. Very, very different message here today. Still, I don't know if we're just going to go deeper into the message in the extension and see what we can find there. If this flips to just become love, or if this flips to go even deeper into this, I don't know. I'm sorry. So you just have to trust your own gut feeling. If this resonates with you, if this reading resonates with you, and feel like if you feel drawn to the extension or not. So, and if you are, the link to that is in the description box down below. If not, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, guys. And maybe you feel a little bit disappointed. You're expecting to hear about your love, and then, but if this is not love for yourself, I don't know what is. And love for other people to give their power back. So, thank you so much for watching.